Uh, Hello everyone. Good evening to all of you. Am I audible? Okay. Today the topic of discussion is we have, I think, one and more than like it has been more than one. Now we have started preparing for 2023, right? So 2023, I gave you one schedule. I gave you one schedule. I hope you guys are following that schedule. Okay. So in the first month of June, we were planning to study history, modern Indian history. Okay, so have you gone through modern Indian history? Have you gone through the modern Indian history? So it was modern Indian history. Modern Indian history में I just told you to go through your Vipan Chandra and Spectrum. Vipan Chandra and Spectrum. See, like it's up to you. Those who are preparing, like now there are like people must be preparing with their classes. People must be preparing. Like it's more of a like even if you are attending classes, maybe like these things are like initially these things are taken only. Initially they teach these things only. So mostly they take polity and modern Indian history initially because these are easy subjects, and it is easy to understand these subjects also. So they prefer to take these subjects initially. I don't know if like is there any problem in the connectivity? Okay, okay, okay. So basically, what exactly you need to do is many people who are preparing from, let's say, if you are not attending any classes or if you are attending the classes also, then there is no issue. Like it is up to you how exactly you are going to follow that. Okay, so modern Indian history, again, it was very easy. So as I have said, you need not, again, it is most possibly those people who have unfortunately could not clear their prelims. Now this schedule is, yes, you can go through this schedule also, because इसमें ऐसा कुछ ज़्यादा ये नहीं है कि आप फॉलो नहीं कर सकते हैं, because most of the things you have already read. What you need to do is you need to revise it better. You need to make notes. You need to have mains practice. So that is a different perspective. But I would say for those people who are preparing for their first time, so it was easy to cover one subject in a month. Okay, so what exactly is required? Let's say modern Indian history, what were things which were expected from you were like let's say modern Indian history में जितने भी acts है क्या क्या चीजें हैं, which are all things are there. One is how British arrived. So there can be prelims, अगर prelims और mains के perspective से देखिए, prelims के perspective से देख, like they can ask you about where was the first initial factories they set up, right? So then अगर मेंस की सब, then that is the question. Okay, so उसके बाद Britishers आए, then after that they had wars, right? Carnatic wars, Anglo Indian, Anglo Maratha wars, right? So there are different wars that happen. After that, then there were different policies. There were different policies which were adopted by the Britishers to expand their empire, right? The policy which was adopted by Wellesley, right? And then there are different acts, the act of 87, like the act Warren Hastings के बाद पे जो भी act start हुए 1793, then the act of 1813, right? Act of 1833, the act of Minty के time पे क्या हुआ. So like many a times they ask you who was the governor general at that time when that act was introduced, right? Then act of 1853, right? Then there were Government of India Act, right? Government of India Act, जो भी 1919 Chelmsford Montagu Chelmsford Act, then Act of 1936. Then after that जो भी इसके टाइम में then initially like freedom movement में initial part में क्या हुआ? Who were the freedom fighters who were very active in the initial part? Who was the Bengal intelligentsia, right? Initially the Bengal intelligentsia was there. Then after that जब 1905 के उस टाइम पे then there were two different streams which were active, right? So एक was modern जो थे modernist जो थे, then there were extremist, modernist and extremist. Then what was the difference between them? What was the main main difference between them? Then what was their approach and what was their approach? Then how, but at times they came together, at times they came together. So what, like how do they came together? ओके. देन उसके बाद क्या होता है उसके बाद देन डिफरेंट जो भी एट दैट टाइम देन हाउ गांधी जी केम. देन गांधी जी आने के बाद देन डिफरेंट पार्ट जो होते थे, देन देयर आर डिफरेंट मूवमेंट्स, राइट? 1920 नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट वाज देयर, नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट. देन 1930 जो दांडी मार्च हुआ उसके बाद जो हुआ, राइट? देन उसके बाद देन क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट, quit India movement. And in between that there were different activities which were going on, different activities which were going on. So you need to focus on each and everything. And उसके बाद जो end आता है after 1942 quit India movement, then Britishers were planning to leave. So at that time what were the different activities happening at that time? So when Britishers were planning to leave, right? So at that time, then how this cabinet commission formed. Then there are different recommendations. Then finally, how the Pakistan got separated. Okay, Pakistan का separation कैसे हुआ? Okay, so these all came later. So what you need to study, how you need to study is you need to study chronologically. And if you see, there are chronological questions also they ask in prelims. It has been like many a times they have asked which was the instance which happened first, second, third. So if you see, there are these kind of questions which have been asked in prelims. Okay, so these were the major areas where it was required that you like read this. You need not required to make notes as such. अगर मेंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखा जाए तो मेंस में क्या क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे वो लोग? मेंस में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन जो भी गांधी जी की इन्वॉल्वमेंट है उस पे क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं. देन जो भी लाइक contribution many people ignore the contribution of various other factions such as farmers, laborers, newspapers, that is journalists, the contribution of the journalist, contribution of the farmers, contribution of the laborers, contribution of the tribal people, contribution of the farmers, right? So many a times they have asked question on these also. These are the side questions which you need to prepare. ओके. नाउ इट इज गिवन गुड इन स्पेक्ट्रम में बहुत सारी चीजें दी हुई है. यस, लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ, राइट? सो यू दीज आर द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर फ्रॉम द मेंस पर्सपेक्टिव. ओके, तो आपको ये भी और उसके बाद देन लाइक कोई जो इंडिविजुअल इंपॉर्टेंट अपने जो फ्रीडम फाइटर्स है व्हाट वाज देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन, यू नीड टू डू दैट आल्सो. Okay, so this was all about modern Indian history. Then second month, in this month we were like we were planning to study polity, right? 1 से 15 तारीख तो मोस्टली आपको लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ना था, राइट? लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ना था. आई जस्ट एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ यू दैट यू मस्ट हैव गॉन थ्रू लक्ष्मीकांत. हैव यू read लक्ष्मीकांत? So if you haven't gone through it, now this is the time. Now you need to go through Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant के जितने भी topics है, right? You need to divide those topics. You need to read. जैसे मतलब जितना भी लक्ष्मीकांत है, बहुत लॉजिकली कवर कर सकते हैं. जैसे प्रेसिडेंट का टॉपिक पढ़ा, प्रेसिडेंट के बाद जैसे मैं आई हैव सेड दिस मल्टीपल टाइम्स, प्रेसिडेंट एंड गवर्नर यू कैन कंबाइन, सीएम एंड प्राइम मिनिस्टर, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड पार्लियामेंट, स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर एंड पार्लियामेंट. ओके, so all these things you can read. ओके, तो बहुत सारी चीजें जो लक्ष्मीकांत में है, दे आस्क डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस. सो इनिशियल रीडिंग ऑफ लक्ष्मीकांत, it is very very important to understand all the topics. You need to go through Lakshmikant, entire Lakshmikant, to understand the polity. Okay, so try to read Lakshmikant. Already 15 days have gone by. Now you have got some 15 days. What was there in the what was scheduled in this month? Other thing was uh, Lakshmikant and then governance, right? Governance, like गवर्नेंस के जो कुछ टॉपिक्स है, इट वोंट टेक मच मोर देन 5-6 days टू यू. ओके, गवर्नेंस के जितने भी टॉपिक्स है 5-6-7 दिन में कवर हो जाएगा आपका. ओके, so it won't take much more time for you to cover governance. So try to finish Lakshmikant as soon as possible. तो लक्ष्मीकांत के जितने भी टॉपिक्स है, एक्सेप्ट फ्यू टॉपिक्स विच कैन बी नेग्लेक्टेड, विच यू आल्सो नो विच टॉपिक्स टू नेग्लेक्ट, जो एकदम ही ट्रिकी है. लेकिन जुडिशरी हो गया, पार्लियामेंट हो गया, एग्जीक्यूटिव फंक्शनिंग, देन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज, नॉन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज, फंडामेंटल राइट्स, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज, प्रियम्बल. ओके, देन और क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, देन सच एज वही जो भी हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ऑफिसेस है, वो वाली टॉपिक्स आप अच्छे से कवर करिए. यू नीड टू कवर ऑल दोस टॉपिक्स वेरी वेरी गुड. यू ट्राई टू कवर ऑल दोस टॉपिक्स. ओके, सो डोंट मेक एनी नोट्स. लक्ष्मीकांत इटसेल्फ इज नोट्स. लक्ष्मीकांत खुद में एक नोट्स है. ओके, सो यू नीड नॉट मेक एनी नोट्स आउट ऑफ लक्ष्मीकांत. तो लक्ष्मीकांत के जितने भी हैं, यू जस्ट रीड लक्ष्मीकांत, अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट्स, अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट कि हाँ आर्टिकल 249 है क्या, वेयर राज्यसभा कैन इंटरवेन. राज्यसभा अगर कौन से 5 एक्सेप्शंस है जहां पे राज्यसभा कैन इंट्रोड्यूस द बिल. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द पावर्स ऑफ द लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा. राज्यसभा और लोकसभा के पावर्स में डिफरेंस क्या है. ओके, यू ट्राई टू गो थ्रू ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स. ओके, सो इससे आपको एक बहुत क्लैरिटी आएगी. ओके, सो ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन ऑल दीज थिंग्स कि राज्यसभा के पावर्स क्या है, लोकसभा के पावर्स क्या. नाउ द प्रेसिडेंट्स इलेक्शंस आर गोइंग टू बी देयर. तो अगर प्रेसिडेंट की इलेक्शन है तो अगले 10-15 दिन न्यूज़पेपर में बस यही आएगा कि प्रेसिडेंट की इलेक्शन आने वाले हैं, तो उसका मतलब इलेक्टोरल रोल क्या होगा, हु ऑल कैन वोट, दो एमपीज कैन वोट, देन एमपीज का वोट का परसेंटेज कितना होगा, एमएलएस के वोट का परसेंटेज कितना होगा, एमएलएस के डिफरेंट स्टेट्स के एमएलएस का वोट परसेंटेज कितना होगा, राइट. So you need to know about all these things. These are the nitty gritties which they ask in prelims. अभी मॉनसून सेशन चल रहा है, तो पार्लियामेंट के सेशन हु कॉल्स स्पीकर का रोल क्या है. देन नाउ वी हैव रिसेंटली सीन कि महाराष्ट्र में क्या सेशन हुआ, तो महाराष्ट्र में देन व्हाट वाज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ स्पीकर, व्हाट वाज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ व्हिप. सो यू गो थ्रू ऑल दीज टॉपिक्स. ठीक है, गवर्नेंस का वी विल डिस्कस सेपरेटली. ओके, सो दिस वाज द टॉपिक लाइक पार्लियामेंट. अभी लक्ष्मीकांत का है, आई विल फॉलो अप आल्सो. और लाइक रिगार्डिंग दोज माने पॉलिटी के जितने भी है आप टॉपिक्स कवर करिए. वी विल ट्राई टू कंडक्ट वन और टू टेस्ट्स ऑन इट आल्सो. ठीक है, सो you start reading Lakshmikant, you try to finish Lakshmikant, then you will take test. Okay, and governance ka I'll take one separate lecture. Governance won't take much more than 5-6 days to you. Okay, एकदम छोटे छोटे टॉपिक्स है, यू कैन फिनिश दोस टॉपिक्स. ओके, जल्दी जल्दी से वो टॉपिक फिनिश कर सकते हैं. ओके, देन टेक केयर. सो विल लाइक एज आई हैव सेड, जैसे अभी पॉलिटी है, आई विल ट्राई टू लाइक टेक 3-4 लेक्चर्स ऑन पॉलिटी. जैसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज है, तो फाइनेंस कमीशन है, तो फाइनेंस कमीशन में क्या फोकस करना है, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स विल डिस्कस. ओके, ओके देन, सो टेक केयर एंड गुड नाइट.